Good morning and welcome into this episode of the Farm2Table Show Morning Edition, your front porch fix of self-reliance, straight talk, and old-fashioned grit. We're deep into step 5 of our 7 steps to self-reliance, and this morning we're digging into something that could save your bacon in a crisis and make your day-to-day life richer, smarter, and more connected. We're calling today's episode the 5-Person Circle, Building Your Local Network. Now hear me on this. It's not about building a bunker, it's about building a bench. Because when everything hits the fan, and even when it doesn't, your real insurance policy is people, not the government, not a generator, and not your Amazon cart, but people. Let's kick this off by busting the biggest lie in the prepper world. And that is, if I get just enough gear, land, and supplies, I won't need anyone. And that is wrong. That mindset is a trap. Now, sure, independence matters, but real resilience is built on interdependence with the right people. I'm not talking about codependency or relying on broken systems. I'm talking about voluntary, strong, community-centered relationships that make you tougher than any lone wolf could ever be. Because let me tell you this, even the most capable homesteader has blind spots. You can't be a full-time blacksmith, a full-time butcher, a full-time herbalist, veterinarian, or carpenter and still have time to grow tomatoes or teach your kids math. You need a circle, and not just any circle. We're talking about a core group of 5 local people that you can trust, that you can trade with, and that you can learn from. 5 folks who show up, not just like your post online. And you ask yourselves, why 5? Well, here's the math. 5 is enough to diversify your skill set and supply chain, but small enough to stay personal and reliable. Think of it like a resilient fire team, lean, local, and loyal. We've seen this model in action during hurricanes, ice storms, and even economic breakdowns. 5 trusted households working together can share tools, cover each other's chores during emergencies, swap food, medicine, and labor, teach each other real skills, provide safety, accountability, and hey, even some joy. This isn't theory, it's old school community in modern times. Now, the real important thing is who are those 5 people, you might ask? And I'm glad you did, because I have that answer. Your 5 might look different than mine, but here's a solid framework to start with. Number 1 is the grower. This is your food source anchor. They might be a gardener, rancher, or market farmer. Heck, maybe it's you, but you need someone producing calories beyond their own needs. They'll have seeds, soil knowledge, livestock insight, and food preservation skills. If the store shuts down, this person feeds you or teaches you how to feed yourself. All right? That guy's super important because if you ain't got food, the rest really don't matter. Now, number 2, this guy's everybody's favorite hero, the fixer. All right? Everybody needs the fixer. And every group needs that mechanical brain, the one who can fix a chainsaw, patch a pipe, or jerry-rig a water pump when the well goes dry. We all know that guy, right? They probably have a barn full of bolts, parts, and welding gear, a junk pile that's actually a gold mine, you might say, and the kind of brain that can reverse engineer just about anything. And without this person, small problems turn into major ones real quick. All right. Now, number 3, this is super, super important as well. They're all 5 are important. This person knows herbs, oils, tinctures, or maybe they're a nurse or EMT. Someone in your circle needs to understand basic health care, trauma response, and how to do something when the ER is too far, too full, or just not even there. They bring medical triage skill, herbal or holistic knowledge, confidence, and calm under pressure, and that is definitely important. And don't wait until you're bleeding to realize you need this person, okay? And number 4, And this was interesting to me. The teacher. This person connects dots. They might be a homeschooler, a historian, or just a local who never stops learning. They can turn experience into wisdom and wisdom into community growth. Oh, where are we at? Here we go. They teach skills to adults and kids alike, build morale and group purpose, and they know your area's history and what its potential is. A strong community thinks generationally, and the teacher helps keep that fire lit. Okay. Now, last but not least is the builder. Okay. This is your hands on craftsperson. And they work hand in hand with the fixer in my mind, but they make infrastructure happen fences, coops, pantries, rainwater systems, rocket stoves. Their work multiplies everyone's effort. They design and construct useful structures, solve spatial and logistical problems, and can build from scratch or fix what breaks. Give them a problem and some wood, and they'll give you a solution. Like I said, they work hand in hand with the fixer. Now, here comes the real challenge. How do you find these people? How do you actually find your five? This isn't an ad for some prepper dating site, although that could be interesting. It's boots on the ground relationship building. All right. Face to face, good old fashioned relationship building. And here's where we start. Number one, our favorite line, shop longer, but linger around a little bit. Okay. Don't just buy your eggs at the farmer's market. Stick around. Ask where the feed comes from. Ask if they need help with a weekend project. Look for the person behind the table who lives what they sell. Mm. Now, I like that. Now, number two, you can start or join a local skill share. Many areas now have homestead meetups. We know about that. Barter circles or classes on herbalism, carpentry, or livestock. Can't find one? Start with a Facebook post or a flyer at your local feed store. And I will add in the homestead community. I mean, we see stuff all the time from like Restoration Farms and different ones doing classes and doing things like that. Look for those people. Ask around. Anyway, go old school. That's number three. Go old school. Invite someone over for dinner. Offer to lend a tool or lend a hand. Most real friendships are still made face to face. All right. That's important. Face to face. All right. Now, there's some red flags. Okay. Because let's be real, not everyone is a good fit. So here's who you need to avoid in all of this. Avoid the drama magnets. Even if they have great skills, emotional chaos will burn out the group. We all know them, okay? Uh, Always takers and never givers. Watch how they treat others before you rely on them. It's important. Okay? And internet only survivalists. Talking about prepping and doing prepping are not the same thing. Okay. Trust takes time, but you can speed it up with work, sweat, and mutual effort. All right. That is one way to build a good relationship is getting out and working together. All right. Let's tell you about a family from Missouri. They started homesteading after a storm knocked out power in their small town. The outage wasn't what scared them, it was how alone they felt. Mm. So they decided to change that. They started by inviting their nearest neighbors, most of whom they had never talked to, over for a potluck. Just hot dogs, iced tea, and conversation. That one night, it led to a monthly workday rotation, shared tool shed, a community pantry for winter emergencies, and eventually they even started a CSA to support two full-time families. Now, when someone's sick, the others step in. When meat needs processing, they all help. They even celebrate some holidays together. They didn't wait for FEMA. They became each other's emergency plan. And I seen that in other places. I know John Moody when North Carolina, when Helene went through. They made sure all their stuff was taken care of. They went and helped neighbors, and they worked on building a bridge, repairing the road, and they all helped neighbors, and they passed things around. And that's what it's about right there. When you have that community of people around you. Now, let's get into some exercises, some ways you can build your own circles, and some things you can do to get started. Now, number one is map your current network. Draw a simple circle and put your name in the middle. Now list people you know locally who have skills or resources you would want in a crisis. Maybe they've helped you before, or vice versa. Maybe you've helped them before. And it's somebody you trust. Trust is paramount. You might have more than you think, or you might have some holes to fill. I don't know. Now, number two, identify a need and a gift. Think about yourself. What do you bring to the table? Eggs, mechanical help, childcare, or a chainsaw? Then think, what are you missing? All right. This helps you approach others not from desperation, but from partnership. You're not begging, you're building. Okay. So knowing what you have to bring and what you're missing and knowing what others, then you come into it with a plan. Now, number three, make one real ask this week. Call or message someone local. Ask for a specific trade or collaboration. Maybe, for example, you could trade sourdough bread for eggs each week, or want to go in on a bulk grain order, or need help mending your fence on Saturday. These small asks open big doors. Okay. And listen, a community is rooted in purpose. And this is the bottom line, friends. If your self reliance plan doesn't include people, then it's just a fantasy. But if it does, you're not just surviving, you're building a new way to live. And the good news, you only need 5. Start with 1. Be trustworthy. This is the key right. Be trustworthy. Be helpful. Be humble and watch what grows. All right. This week, take step 5. Find your 5 and be someone else's 5 too. We'll see you next time on this topic. But keep growing, keep building, and never go it alone. All right. Good morning, tablers. Good morning. Glad to see you all in there. I do apologize for the rough start to some things this morning. I thought I had hit the go live button, but apparently I did not. Apparently I was, how the best way to put this way? I was talking and was going along and happened to look over and catch the little thing that said, Ryan must be sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. I just didn't hit the right button. So I had to start over. But I appreciate y'all sticking with me through it. And we can all laugh about it together because it's like nothing I can do about it. But anyway, let's do the roll call. Let's go back through the chats. All that stuff was bouncing over there. Looked like we had a good group in. Wish Bro was in early. Good morning, Bro. It seems like we were just talking to each other last night. Anyway, good morning, Robbie. Same thing. Scotty. Let's see. Good. Tail lights on. Audio check. Okay. Yep. It was just the host that wasn't didn't have it turned on. Anyway. Good morning there, Terry. Glad to see you in this morning. Yep. Good morning, Rooster. Yeah. Let's see. Ryan's sleeping. It seems. Yeah, maybe. Good morning, Ed Kirkpatrick. Scotty waking me up right there. I appreciate that. Really do. Definitely alive, Ryan. Yep. And Key working from the back seat of a taxi. That seems to be a recurring thing. Good morning, Jeff. Muddy Acres. Glad to see you in, buddy. Let's see who we got here. Good morning, Barb Taylor. Hope you're doing good. Hey, there's Shane Cody. Morning there, Code Man. All right. Let's see. Tatine YouTuber. How are you? Okay. New name there. Musgraves. Did I miss them in the circle in there? Just didn't see it pop up in the comment. Well, anyway, uh, yeah, let me see. Here we go. Good morning, Janae. Tuesdays with Joy. Good morning. Let's see. Scotty's comment. Let's see. Let's bring this up where I can read it. You can't do things alone. I might be lone Crosby, but I need a strong community behind me, which I have. Hashtag Tablers Unite. That's right. All right. Let's see. Who we got else here? Official. Hello, Musgrave Farm. Yeah, it was nice to see y'all guys in. Anyway, let's see where we go. Yeah, Cody. Oh, now you come back in on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, Scotty, your nephew's an EMT. That's an important handy one to have around. Oh, let's see that conversation. Where we go here? Scotty, you're looking for a new home. Yeah. See, amazing opportunities. Find your fit. Stay positive. That's it. And then Cody's got to have his gallbladder out. Yeah, it's not good, but it's survivable. Just got to make some changes. Let's see. And I knew Scotty was home and, working on that. Let's see. Yes, Terry. I thought of you when I read the chainsaw line. But yes, you have a chainsaw and you know how to use it. Let's see. I got some conversation going on about gallbladders. So read some of that stuff. Write some of that stuff down, Cove Man. Uh, let's see. Da, 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 da. Yes, Scotty, you are our jester. Bring uncanny jokes. For remember, I am the tabler's jester. Yes, you are. Uh, all right. Good morning, Edward Braden. Glad to see you in. It was nice chatting with you last night. I'm glad to see you made it in with us this morning. Good morning, Tracy, Tim. Glad to have you guys in with us. Janet Neese, glad to see you in this morning. Let's see, where are we at here? Boy, that's a long roll call to get through this morning. All right, we caught up. All right. Roll call complete. Made it through the chat groups and caught up. Y'all guys were quite chatty this morning and good stuff going on there. Anyway, glad to have everybody in. Yes, and we pray you had a blessed weekend as well, Janet. Nice to see you back in here with us. We're going to jump on over here and get the Redneck Weather Report. Check in with our good friend Jack. All right, get that pulled up. Da, 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 da. Let's go up here, scroll it, make sure y'all can see it. All right.
Good morning, Rednecks. It is 66 degrees this morning, June the 9th, 2025. We got a 4-mile-an-hour northern wind, making it feel like it's 64 degrees. Got a 60-degree dew point, and we're going to get to 87 today. God bless y'all. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good morning.
All right. Good deal. And there it is. Yes. Jack in. Sounding a little better today. I know Friday he was sounding rough, and we was on with him live last night on Homestead Sunday, and he was sounding better. Still holding on, and we definitely still need to be praying for Jack and his family as he lost his stepdad the end of last week, and they're going to be traveling back down to Texas for. Um, the funeral and viewing and all that stuff this week. So prayer for them and travels. Homestead Freedom Festival in Illinois, June 20th and 21st. No, I haven't. I will research that. Bring that up. Put this on my notes. Where's my list? I got a note list over here. I'm gonna look up some other things today. Let's see. Homestead Freedom Fest. Okay. I'll be looking that up. Anyway, it's 42 in southeast Iowa. Odd weather. That's been a year of odd weather. And, some might say it's manipulation. I don't know. But anyway, I heard it from Zach Bauer. Well, then there you go. That's a good one. A good source of one. And you know what? Illinois needs some needs some fest. Let's see what Robbie's got here. I need to build this local community. I have plenty of YT friends that would be great help, but they don't live close. I have friends here, but I need to figure out which ones have skills. Uh, yeah, and that's the trick right there. And I'm in the same boat. I mean, tons of online friends, and I've got church friends and different stuff, but none of them live up here. Um, and I started making some inroads into the community, but really haven't got to. Uh, get out and figure out who. Now I've got a great neighbor, uh, and he's quite elderly, but he's awesome at what he does. But his son is very similar to him, and he lives on the other side of him over there, so just a few acres away. And anyway, so I need to grow that relationship and figure out a few more around here. So yeah. We're saying, and yeah, that is a big temperature difference from what we got down here. That's for sure. But of course, y'all are quite a bit norther. Let's see, is Scotty in Boston up there? Let's see, 60 on to be a high 63 in Boston today. Well, when it's 80 degrees, I'll think of your nice cool weather you got going there, Scotty, because it's going to be a hot one today, as it has been. But yesterday was in the 90s, and whew, that was rough. I was out doing some mowing, and that was hard. But let's see what's going on here. But let's uh, talk about that. What we were just talking about with that five circle of five, and it's it, most of us, if we draw in. I mean, I'm fortunate. I've got son-in-law on the property, and my wife and daughter are here, of course, and good neighbors. So I mean, I could pull people around, and that is, you know, Keith and I have been talking about building community for a long, long time, and that's kind of a big deal with us is building these communities out. And because again, we understood early, I think that you can't be, and I had to change my mindset from the lone wolf or from being just holed up in here in my little bunker. And but anyway, and yes, ooh, nice, yeah, yeah. Of course, Terry, your weather and mine's usually pretty good, but Jen said usually 70 to 80 this time of year. Garden is mad. I bet it is. I bet it's not happy about that at all. Uh, Yeah, sounds like you did have a great day, Terry. Got outside. I went to church and then left and went and we have a property that needed mowing, and so went and took care of that. Uh, anyway, so yeah, it's that's what you got to have. Hey, let's get the brain buster out. Let's see if we can boggle our brain on a Monday morning. Um, just kind of one of those funny little this one, not too deep. But when you clean a vacuum cleaner, aren't you the vacuum cleaner? Hmm. Just kind of one of those ironic little statements. Uh, but anyway, so y'all can laugh and chew on that one here in a minute. Jeff, that's right. And I've been there. I'm there. Being in a new area, it's tough to learn who's who. That is, yes, it is. And when you're the new person, I think you have to work at it just a little bit harder. Um, you know, and so uh, it does. And so Terry said they moved there a couple of years ago. It's been slow building relationships. Um, and most of you, I mean, I'm sure y'all have experienced this too. But I moved up here and we've had the property for a few years, but again, we haven't been up here that long. But we're not from here, and may never be considered from here. We just have this is where we live. We've moved in. There are people who have lived here literally their entire lives. People who've been here for they're multi generational families in this community. They've lived here for like I said, decades. You know, and it is and those people, they all know who each other are. They went to school together and what class they graduated in. It's the typical small town, and there's only 5 schools in our county that's left, and this little community of like 1,600 people uh, have a real tight knit community, and they know each other. So then there's those of us who've moved in, and if you come into this town, what I've learned is if you come in here and you try to adapt to that local community's ways of doing things, kind of figure out what the uh, uh, I'm going to read that in just a minute, Edward. That is, there you go. I'm going to read that in a minute. But if you moved in up here, and um, then basically what happens is if you adapt or you kind of try to figure out how things are, or you moved up here like I did for a reason. You were looking for a piece of property and you liked the community, you liked the way it was. You don't want to see it come up in here and try to upset the apple cart. You want to adapt in and figure out who's who. I started at the local store, got to know the owner of that store and her people, working there, and go in there and hang out. I don't get to do it as much as I'd like, but go out and hang out with the old timers. Me and Keith call it, well, one of our friends, Andy, calls it the Spit and Whittle Club. But that's where you find out who's who. That's where you find out what's going on. But we have people that move in, and they're just doing what they're doing, but they move in and they want to bring all the ways of where they came from with them. And they want to try to, oh, we need to change this, or oh, they need to do this, or oh, this, or they, and they forget that this little bitty tiny small town doesn't have the resources financially or otherwise that the big town they just moved out of or wherever they moved from had. And you got to let that go, and you got to adapt to where you're living and try to grow into the community, not come in and change the community. But that's just my little on my neighborhood, on my town where I live in. Keith, I'm going to back up. Keith highlighted farmers co-ops, farmers markets, church, always good connection spots. Generally speaking, yes. Hardware store if you got one, parts store. And Edward countered on a brain buster. If the counter is top to bottom, then shouldn't the countertop be on the bottom? That's a good one. I like that, Edward. Scotty's right. You're always going to have the people who stare at you. Yes, indeed, no doubt about it. Let's see. That was funny. Uh, let's see. Hot and humid. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Yes, Mrs. Pat. Cody was with me. Kind of. I mean, I'd met her, but Cody kind of helped introduce me because Cody knew her from when he was in school up here, and so yeah, they kind of helped me hit that off, and so appreciate Cody for that. And yes, town hall or coffee shops, always so good spot. I see your brain buster and raise you one. No kidding. But yeah, Mrs. Pat, she's one of those people that grew up here, married, lived here her whole life, still lives here, runs a local store. She just, she knows pretty much if they've been here a long time, she knows them. Um, and a lot of people come in to visit with her and that type of stuff. And it's just a good place to hang out. And she's been super helpful of being a friendly face. And like I said, I've gotten to know others and need to get back into it. But that's just one of those ways that you build that five. And like I said, get that five together. That goes a long ways towards putting all that together. So anyway, so let's get right into the quote of the day. Kind of goes right in, of course, with what we were talking about. So community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter. A circle of healing. A circle of friends. Someplace where we can be free. Starhawk. What do you think of that one? Uh, and so, yeah, community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter. A circle of healing. A circle of friends. Someplace where we can be free. I really do like that. I think that's appropriately describes it. And there we go. So, yeah, Terry, your grandparents are from this area, moved away. You moved back. So you're both an insider and an outsider. And that's the way it works. Put that up there for a minute so others could see it. And that's the thing. My wife has some family up here, great aunt, and I guess then consequently something like second cousins, that kind of thing, family name up here. But no, that was a distant relationship kind of thing. So no, no connection in that sense. We've met them, we talked to them, they know we're here, we know they're there, kind of thing. We've touched base, but yet at the same time, it's still not the same. It does help when you say who your family, the connections. But anyway, so I like that. But yeah, so there you go, folks. So I'm going to look into this Homestead Freedom Fest, June 20th, 21st. That's literally right around the corner. This last weekend was the Homestead Festival. End of the month, 27th, 28th, Modern Homesteading Conference, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, June 27th through 28th, modernhomesteading.com. Let's see. And then, of course, fast forward, Ozarks Homesteading Expo, September 5th and 6th in Marshfield, Missouri. Looking forward to that one. That is a great lineup, as always. Then, of course, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, September 26th to 27th, Southeast Expo Center in McAllister, Oklahoma. The lineup is good. Hey, good morning, Donald and Lisa. Glad to have y'all in. Good morning, Money Pit. Anyway, that is going to be going on. It's got a great lineup, great vendors, sponsors, but we're also still looking for vendors and speakers for that. So OklahomaHomesteadRendezvous.org, or you can find it on the Facebook at Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous. So anyway, that's September 26th, 27th. And Homesteaders of America Conference, October 10th and 11th. That one is sold out, but you might keep your eyes out on the interweb for maybe some tickets or getting into some of those groups. But anyway, we're knocking them things off one by one out there, I'll tell you that. So anyway, Let's see. Robbie, I like this. I'm going to share this right quick. I have a friend at work that says I'm going to be part of his zombie apocalypse team. I'm the one that can process animals. Hey, that's an important skill. So you help with the feeding thing. And that's the thing. It's just about finding a group of 4 or 5 people, five, that have the skills that need to be had and or can learn them. And it's people you can trust and build relationships with. And it's a good skill to have, as Keith said right there. It is one that I'd like to learn. But anyway, yes, hashtag stronger together. Scotty, you are 100%. But anyway, folks, that is a wrap for today on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us as we strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. And that is step 5 this week, is about building a strong community. Good morning, Joy Bartlett. Glad to see you in there. Um, it is about building that strong community and that tight knit one. Not, I mean, there's the overall community, but then there's that tight one. And as Keith just put, hashtag 5 friends. Um, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit the like button, give us the thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. Remember, we are hashtag stronger together, hashtag 5 friends, and of course, hashtag Jester's Rules, Scotty throws in there, and hashtag Ditto Scotty. We always got a few extras to add in there. Hashtag think outside the big box store, shop local. So, anyway, all them hashtags. It's going to get too long. I ain't going to be able to keep up with it. Uh, anyway, be a blessing to someone today, even if it's just a smile. You could change someone's day. It only takes one. So, as they said, have a great day. Make it fun. And everybody out there, be safe. And we will see you back tomorrow, 6 a.m., right here on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. And we will see you all on the other side. And yes, it is time for Hank to take it out us out of here. Take it away, Hank.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.